Baby. And it happens to be my favorite day of the week. Welcome back to Monday Diaries. So this is a weekly episode where I just sit down and document in public a raw video with no cuts, just talking about life and business and everything else in between that comes up. So I've just come home. Obviously I'm in West Oz, but it's weird because I'm filming these videos in the future. So right now I'm recapping really a couple of weeks ago because I'm filming this video a bit later on a Monday. Usually I would have filmed it last Monday to recap the week before. So anyway, mind fuck. But we are here in West Oz and it feels really good to be home, to be honest. I think a month away is like a perfect amount of time, and it's not too long, not too short. It allows you to experience the place, but still feel ready to come home, have a routine. First day back in the gym today was a mission, but we got it done, especially after being sick last week. So anyway, we're here. Some pretty key updates business-wise. I always start with business when I talk on these episodes. So Art of Mondays is the business I launched a couple of months ago. Our website has just gone live, so it'll be in the description below. It will also be, there's a video that I filmed. It's called a VSL, which is a video sales letter. It's not really a VSL, to be honest. It's more just a vibe check, just talking about the philosophy behind Art of Mondays, the story of how we got here. And that's on YouTube too, so you can go click on that video after this, or it's also on the website if you want to watch it there. But that's cool. That was something I poured my little heart into for a while, so definitely check that out. Yeah, that's that. Right now, we have 15 members on board, vetted and accepted into the membership. So for those who don't know, Art of Mondays is a private community for lifestyle founders to come together. And so we vet everyone that comes through. They have to pass an application. A lifestyle founder is really someone that's building something cool, but also cares about balance and life at the same time, health and going out there and experiencing things. So right now the requirements to get in, aside from values and building an online business, etc., there's a bunch of criteria. You also have to have done $500,000 in revenue in that business in the last few years. So that's why it's quite a highly vetted thing. Only less than 20% of people that apply get in. The membership costs $4,000 a year. And we actually have a second membership, which I've never spoken about publicly on here. No one really knows about it. It came up just by chance because there's a lot of people that fit our values and really want to be surrounded by like-minded people and people that lift them up, but they haven't done $500,000 in revenue, which is totally fair. Like it's not an easy feat. So it's for the people that are kind of between the 100 to 500. So they've built something, they're working on something that it is proven, and they still want that network. And so that membership I wasn't sure if I should be transparent about it at first because I didn't want to, for example, for our main members, I didn't want them to feel like there was another option and all of these things, which is really just not true. Like no one actually cares and they appreciate the transparency. So we have 4 people we call it a sub membership. I don't like that word because I don't think they're inferior to anyone else. I think they're just at an earlier stage, that's all. But it's essentially a second membership. That's half the cost and basically half the benefits. It's basically just the monthly calls, which we get on, and a WhatsApp group. So no school, no founder residencies, and some of these other in-person stuff that we do. They're kind of next in line for those things, but they don't get that straight away. So they're also next in line for the main membership when they cross that threshold, which is what we're obviously working to get them to. So, but that's actually a lot of fun too. There actually tends to be younger people in there for the most part. I get to be one-on-one with them a lot. I get to be imparting some sort of value as well. They're all so far kind of in industries that I've been in. So it's really cool to be able to exchange and step back in and be able to give some value to them. But again, it's a peer-to-peer thing. It's everyone helping each other. That's the idea. So that's the sub membership. And all of this to date has been done with just a deck and a Stripe link. Like no, it's been stealth mode basically until very recent, this week, last week kind of thing. Now that the website's live and I'm talking about it a lot more. So that's exciting to be working on. Some of the members, someone commented, I think it was my brother that commented on my last YouTube video, saying he really liked hearing more about the members that are inside. And for confidentiality, I don't go super in depth on like who they are, etc. Because obviously it's a space where like everyone's signing confidentiality agreements. Everyone's like able to share really vulnerably in these circles for that reason. So what I share is more just public information that they don't mind sharing elsewhere. So we had one member who basically like speed built a product within a week. He already is sort of involved in he's like an e-commerce growth agency, and he wants to get more into digital products and more ownership in his work, not just like working with clients. And so he launched a digital product. It's basically templated ads. So if you run a brand and you want proven ad templates, but they're kind of drag and drop and you're able to change them very easily, he's built this framework and templates for it. I'll probably overlay and show you what it looks like. And he got his first customer too. So all in a week, just from build to launch to first customer. It was really cool to see the speed at which he could do that. And we gave him some pretty good feedback in the community too, which helped, acquire that first customer. So that was awesome to see. We had another member who launched a webinar funnel for his crypto offer. He's basically a savage when it comes to crypto and calling things, and he's helped a lot of people build a lot of wealth through that. And so he built out a webinar funnel, a course, and basically as supplementary income. He actually did $200,000 in 24 hours on his launch day. So that was really epic to see as well. And those wins, regardless of the size of the win or the scale of the win, I think they're all worth recognizing. I'm the kind of person that probably doesn't celebrate wins enough for myself personally. So to be able to celebrate with other people is pretty cool. So that's a bit about our members. As for the lead generation strategy, each week I kind of recap. I'm posting daily on Reels, so I kind of tell you guys the results of those Reels. Full transparency, the week I'm recapping, I didn't post once in that whole week. It was kind of the week I was sick, and like it was I was totally slack. Like that's totally on me, and that's part of the reason I'm documenting, to hold myself accountable as well. But there were still some results. So I didn't post once, but there was still kind of that flow over from previous weeks. I still did reach about, it was 522,000 accounts reached in that week. 9,480 profile visits. This is just Instagram, by the way. I had 100 followers, which is kind of interesting. I actually gained over 1,000 followers, but lost about 1,000 followers too. Again, if you missed a few episodes where I talked about this ago, I think it's, when you start to build a bit of an audience and you are very consistent with it and you are putting content out, there's going to be people that decide they don't want to follow along anymore, especially if you're not putting enough freshness into it, not showing enough of your face, building enough trust. So that was a lesson for me, is to kind of shake up how I'm approaching that, and probably part of the reason why I hadn't been posting as much anyway, because I kind of want to shake it up and get some real freshness into it. So I've got heaps of new ideas and lots of things that I've been wanting to do for a long time, to be honest, but just hadn't yet. Just the natural flow of creativity and art, but that's coming. So yeah, 100 followers, net positive outcome. 112 people clicked the link in my bio, and we had about 7 applications for Item Mondays, though only a few of them, or 2 or 3, were completed. So the way that works is there's a form on the deck at the time. Now it's the website, and you can start filling that out, and we can see the people who start but don't finish, and sort of still, some people get all the way to the end and maybe don't answer the last question, for example, so we're able to make changes and kind of make sure people get through. But yeah, it's obviously the finished applications that we take and we consider, and then we look at interviewing them if they are a fit. And then overall, we had 5 new members come on board between the main membership and sub-membership. So they were the people that were vetted and accepted and paid, obviously, up front for the year. So that was cool. To be honest, like a pretty solid update on the business side. As for life, my note here says that obviously I'm recapping a couple of weeks ago, but I already spoke about that. Just before I got sick, actually, Liam made it to Cape Town. He's one of my best mates. He actually lives here. When we're back home, he moved in 6 months ago, and he was meant to come to Cape Town earlier, but then he had a few gigs come up here and he came later. And anyway, so I was in Cape Town solo for most of that, which was always the plan. But he was going to get about 2 weeks at the end. He ended up getting about a week and a half, and he actually stayed. So he's still there right now for a few extra days. He couldn't leave. So fair enough. So he came, and then I went with Justin, another buddy, went for a run down the coast, beautiful scenic run. I'll show you a clip here. But my body was just feeling it. Like, maybe we did 10Ks. It probably is the longest I've run for a long time. I like being active, but just not running specifically. And anyway, we finished that and my body was just feeling whacked. And then we had dinner and it was the worst Greek food of my life. It was a whole thing and we didn't eat until like 9:30 because it was late and we had to go to a different place. Anyway, they had gyros, I think they're called, and they're like this little wrap thing with a pita bread and inside is like salad and you can get chicken and it sounds great. These ones were kind of like oily and not that fresh, and our particular ones had like chips inside, which is also fun, but it was like raw potato. It was like they dunked it in oil and that was it. The chicken was a bit pink, like all of this stuff that just kind of added up and you're like, man, to be honest, maybe that was why I got sick, or at least I was getting sick and then that just threw me over the edge because it was that night I woke up on the toilet pretty much non-stop. I was going to spare you the details, but it was one of those times where I was getting up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a night just to go to the toilet, not throwing up, just going to the toilet. So when your body is being disrupted from sleep, clearly there's like something going on, gastro or whatever it was. So that rocked me, to be honest. I was barely eating. You saw me in the last episode. I didn't look, I wasn't glowing, put it that way. So yeah, that was like everything. But a couple of days in, I started feeling a bit better. I got down to Friends Who Volley. They had an event. It's the volleyball sunset tunes that we go to on Thursday. But Chris Luno, DJ friend, was playing a little set down there, and that was just wholesome and fun. And I felt good for that. And then I got home and just like round two, it was like that night, disrupted sleep again, another couple of days. So that threw me. But we got through it, and what else was I going to say? Yeah, and then I was going to go to a road trip to Jeffrey Bay. For those who don't know, it's very well known for surfing. It's like, for Australians going to South Africa, it's like, you got to go to J Bay. It's about 8.5 hours drive from Cape Town, just straight out. We organised like a camper collab. I had kind of organised that. And they were going to front the cost of the camper, and then we just had a few friends we were going to go on and do that trip with, which I was really looking forward to because I was a month in Cape Town, 3 weeks of just kind of lock in, good routine, staying active, doing my thing. And then I was going to spend the final week kind of creating a lot and just seeing a lot more. And it was kind of on the tail end of when I was sick. Also, the van that I'd organised, I ended up trying to book it too late, and then it was booked out for ages and I didn't get one. Fortunately, our friend Callie also got a van, so there was room. But it was like that last day of me being sick, and I wasn't worth risking it. So I didn't go. So the rest of them went, and it was a bummer because it was a lot of the things I wanted to do in Cape Town I didn't get to do outside of Cape Town. So I was like, well, how am I going to spend my time instead? And I decided to reread the Almanac of Naval Ravikant, which is an incredible book. Those watching should definitely read it. He speaks a lot about wealth and happiness. He's one of the most prolific angel investors in Silicon Valley over the more recent years. He invested in. He's just incredible at picking founders, picking opportunities, seeing things that other people don't see. And I think really it's because he spends so much time in thought and giving himself the space. And so I was very inspired to give myself the space, and I decided to go and live with my great aunt and uncle, Aunt Jenny and Uncle Frank, who live in Cape Town. I met them for the first time a few weeks ago, and they offered their spare room, and I went and lived in a retirement home with them for a few days. So I'll recap that and the thought processes and everything that came from that in next week's episode. But there was good that came from the sickness and me not being able to go on the road trip, and I actually think potentially in the long term that could be a lot more impactful. So I will talk about what happened there. But yeah, I feel like that was a solid brain dump. I spoke pretty fast. We got through it. That is Monday Diaries episode 11, I think. 11th week of 2024. And subscribe if you want to keep following along with this journey. I try to be as transparent as I can. I try to share numbers. I try to just be upfront. So if you want things answered, please ask in the comments. I would love some feedback on the website and the videos. I hope you start fucking with Mondays too. Peace.